The next is object-oriented analysis and design, implementation strategies. So most of the implementation we are going to use what programming languages or mapping object designs to what databases. These two methods only we are going to what implement our OAD. So how to implement that into your programming languages using your programming language. We know the hooks-based programming language like what C++, Java, Smalltalk, C#, and Python, which are inclusive provision for what represent classes. So in these languages only we will have what classes. Other language like Fortran, COBOL, C, we don't have the classes. Instead of that, we will have the subroutines, structure, something like that. So classes only we are using under these languages only. Therefore, we are going to use implementing our OAD using these languages. And how to use that into the implementation using this language. Any one of the language we are going to use. So in this example, they are used just what? C++. We know about the C++. So whatever we are defining inside the class without any scope or visibility about the member, by default that treated as what private only. This is the principal what your C++ classes. We know the class diagram about the OAD part. So top of the rectangle which going to specifies what name of the class, and the middle is denoting attributes of the class, and the bottom denoting operation of the classes. This is already we discussed under a circle class. How this is implemented in the language of C++. We know the keyword which is called as class that going to lead with what class followed by the name of the class. So what is the name of the class here? Circle. That will be defined here. We are opening the curly braces under that. So we define two variable of type as what private. One is as a protected. Therefore, under the private colon, we are declared the x and y coordinate as double. So double x coordinates semicolon. Or in a single line, we can able to say double x coordinate comma y coordinate. That's enough here. Okay, that's the declaration part about the variables. Next, in under the protected, we are going to define what radius. Again, the radius defined as what W. So we know the difference between the private and the protected. While inheriting, the visibility of the private will not occur in your derived class, but protected member will be visible in your immediately inherited class, but under the scope is what private. This protected variable treated there in the derived class is what private only. Therefore, so the difference between the private with the protected is what private will not be allowed to what inherit. Protected, there will be a relaxation to access this member, but that member immediately derived class only. The role of the member inside the immediate derived class is what private only. So protected is going to act as a shareable member under the derived class with what private scope. So radius will be defined under what protected, and three operations: find area, find circumference, and scaling. They are plus symbol. They are denoting here as what public. Therefore, under the public colon, we are declared all three members, and curly braces end with a semicolon that denoting what end of definition of your class circle. So this is what equivalent source code of your class diagram into your C++ language. If it is in your Java part, so we are going to see as what class circle, curly braces will be opened. Under that, we are going to define all these things, but we will create an object using what a main method. Okay. So implementing associations. We know the association like what one to one, one to many, many to one. These associations are we implemented in the part of the OAD. So in the programming language, we do not provide construct to implement association directly. So the task of implementing association needs a considerable thought. So association may be either unidirectional or bidirectional. Besides, each association may be either one to one, one to many, or many to one. What do you mean by unidirectional associations? So implementing unidirectional association, care should be taken so that the unidirectionality is maintained. The implementation for different multiplicity are as follows. So what are the implementation of the unidirectional associations? Optional associations. A link may or may not exist between participating objects. The link that is called as what? Optional association. So example in the association between customer and current account. In the figure below, a customer may or may not have a current account. So that's why they are going to denote 0 or 1. account is not existing or may have one account. So customer may not have current account or may have one account. So this is called as what a optional associations. So an object current account is included as an attribute in customer that may be null because we are not going to create a customer. A customer don't have about a current account. So that is using to C++. Some that is implemented using this optional association. So again, we are going to have customer, private. We are going to define the attributes like what? Current account C, current account as attributes. Here only is called as an object. An object of current account as an attribute. So we already have a class which is called as what current account. We are going to create that object inside our customer. So public, there is a constructor for the customer class. In that C is equal to null. The meaning is what? No current account for this customer. So there is a constructor that going to initialize our object C as what null. It meant for what? There is no current account. The current account get current account up. Return C. Just going to what this method return the value of C. Next set the current account. We are passing an object to the method set current account. So name of the object is my ACC of the class current account. Through this, we are going to initialize our current account C object. So what, when I'm going to use through the constructor C is equal to null means there is no current account for a customer. Through a method set current account, I'm going to pass an argument as an object of the class current account. That's going to initialize my local object C. So after that, I'm going to say remove current account C is equal to null. So these are the things what the method which are defined under the class customer. One customer constructor and one get current account method, one set current account method, another one is remove current account. So this is called as what optional what association. Now one-to-one association. We know that one-to-one one department have one manager. So now this is called as what a department have one manager. This relationship is called as what one-to-one. So how that is defined here in a C++ language. An object manager that should not be null because you have department compulsory have a manager. So we should not say a department object as what null here. So here we are defining a class department. Under that, a manager object is created, MGR. So within that, a department constructor is called as a constructor with a parameter. What is the parameter here? An object of the class manager. So constructor with the object. So M is not null here because compulsory a department have what? One manager. Therefore, constructor which we are going to pass what? An object as a constructor parameter to the department. The constructor named here as what? The class of manager. Then we are assigning our MGR. MGR is nothing but local object of the manager class. So MGR is equal to M because manager should not be what null. Therefore, we are compulsory assigning some value to our local object MGR. So next we are going to get the MGR part. Just we are returning MGR. So at the time of creating an object to the department class, we have something to pass to the object. That will be received by a local object MGR. Then we are returning that to us through the method get MGR method. So in this, we are not specifying any null value for our MGR because any department that should have a manager. Therefore, there is no null part for the manager object. We are going to pass some value to our MGR part. This is called as what? One-to-one. A department must have one manager, therefore one-to-one relation. And the next is called as one-to-many association. So employee may dependent. Employee may dependent 0 or more than 1. So here is what is given. See the association. Association between employee and dependent. So in the implementation, the employee may depend to 0 per person or more than 1. Okay, therefore star is given here. So how to define that here? So privately we are creating a pointer object which is called as department, character pointer, department name. There is a list. We are going to create a dependent class DPP, a list of dependents as attribute here. This is what a special type of data. Under the dependent class, we are creating the list. Under the public scope, we are defining the methods void, add, dependent. We are passing again what? Object as an argument here. So dependent D. So dip dot push. That is a list called as what? Push back to D. Whatever we are going to pass in this argument, that will be pushed back to the D part. So this is called as adds an employee to the department. This is only what? DEP is nothing but here what? So DEP is called as the list name object. Through that and push back to an employee. So remove dependent. Okay, remove dependent. Again, I'm passing an argument to the method is D as an object to the dependent class. So I'm going to find the index is equal to find D comma dependent. Okay. So the finding function returns the index D in the list. So what is the position of the dependent that will be returned to index equal to find of D comma D. We are going to use resettle method of your list class. Okay. Dot errors index that the particular error will be water removed. So that is called a method is errors. These are the method which comes under your list only. It's not a user defined method. These are the built-in method of your list class. So in this water, one maybe a employee may depend 0% or more than 1%. Next is bidirectional, both. It might be what optional or one-to-one associations. It is called as what bidirectional. Links in both direction require to be maintained. So again, we are going to bidirectional. One project may have one project manager. So one-to-one is there. This is called both the way. Compulsory a project containing what? Project manager. A project manager should be a manager of a project. It's the meaning of this bidirectional. A project containing a project manager. A project manager should be manager of the project. So therefore, it is called as what? Bidirectional. So this will be implemented in a C language. An attribute project manager PMGR will be created as an object here. Then under the public class, that is public scope, we defined a method is called as set manager. Again, the argument PM object is passed as an argument to the set manager. Through that, we are going to put the project manager, change manager of the report. So one is method of the class project. Another is method of change manager is method of the class project. These are defined, only declared they are not defined here. They are declared one object created. The project manager again containing PJ as a object here. There are two methods under this. One is project, another one is project. Called as what? Bidirectional. Okay. This is a code which we are going to say for the equivalent that. This is a diagrammatic view. The diagram will be implemented in the C language, C++ like this one. And one to many. The department may have more than one employee. That is called as what? One to many. Hey. The next is one to many. Say department have many employee that will be implemented in the C+ language using as a list container class. The department, there's a pointer which is called as the department name. Again, a list which is named here as what? Employee. List of employees as an attribute. And the public mode, we are going to add the employee through which we are going to pass an object as an argument. We'll call a method which is called as what? Pushback. That's going to add a employee. We are using a list name emp data pushback. How the list data add item. The same method will be taken here as what? Emp data pushback of E. Whatever the object we are passing to the add employee, that will be added to the list emp. That is given in the command line. Adds an employee to the department. Next, you want to remove employee from the department. Again, we are going to call what? Find the employee, then erase the particular index from the list. So this is what the property and the method of the class what? Department. Next, we are going to create a class employee. Under that, an object is called as the department. We are going to declare two methods: add department, remove department. These are the two methods which comes under the property of your employee class. So how to implementing associations as classes? The class how to implement these associations. Now see the diagrammatic view about this. Diagrammatic view about this. Char in both the way. Many employee work for many projects. Not a single employee for a single project. Many employee work for many projects. So it is going to say here as consider the one-to-one association between employee and the project. So they are given language. So instead of star, we are going to use this one only. So as per the diagram, you star denoting many to many. Yeah. So many employee works to the many projects. Therefore, instead of star, we are going to place this one only. So works on what is given. Hours start date. There are two parameters which are used for the class works on. There are two departments will have. One is called as the association will have what? One is an employee, another one is a project. An employee work for a project. So we'll have the one-to-one only. So instead of star, we place this what? 1-1. So how that will be implemented in C++? Works on is our class name here. In that we'll have the two type of attributes. One is hours, start date. So here is they are treated employee, project, hours. They are called as what? Classes. So we are creating an object EPH and a pointer which is called as what? Date. And the method we are not saying here because at the bottom we will not have any operation. Therefore, only the members are which are declared under this. This is called as what? One-to-one association along with the class. We are implemented that are using the C++. The next is implementing constraints. The constraints in classes restrict the range and type of values that the attributes may take. So a valid default value is assigned to the attribute when an object is instantiated from the class. Whenever the value is changed at runtime, it is checked whether the value is valid or not. An invalid value may be handled by an exception handling routine or other methods. Is an example, what is an invalid value here? So when I'm going to declare a variable under a numeric, but I'm going to pass as a runtime as a character, what will happen? We will get an exception at runtime, which is known as what? Data type mismatch or format exception. So this is called as an exception, runtime exception. That will be what occurs when you are applying the constraints in a class part. So this is called as an invalid. So we are passing in a default value. That is default value means if it is numerical means we are going to say the default is 0. If it is a character based variable means the default is what? Null. So I'm going to pass instead of numeric, I'm passed to a character based. I can get an exception at runtime is what? Data format error or a format mismatch. Something will be what fired based on the program language. Now, as an example is given now. See, age is an attribute that may have values in the range of what? 8 into 16. So this is a constraint which is given to the class employee. What is the constraint here? An age attribute, the age lies between only what? 8 into 60. So if you are entering less than 18 or more than 60, what will happen? That's going to fire an exception, a range of out of boundary range. Range out of boundary. Range on the non exceed some exception will be auto fired. So that will be implemented in the source code. The employee, because we are taken the class is the employee, in that the attribute is called as what? Age as an integer. Name is a pointer, which is character pointer, is going to accept the data. So in the constructor, we are passing a default. So we are passing something, we are saying as what? String copy. Someone trying to talk. Who is that? யார் இப்ப ஏதோ சொல்ல நினைக்கிறீங்க? Type in chat box. Someone tried to say something. Type in chat box. Now in the class definition about this constraints based employee class, what is the constraints given? Age will be lies between 18 to 60 only. So we are passing the default value, that is name is empty. I'm going to assign the initial value for the age is what? 18. So these are the values which are default to the attributes name and the age. Through the constructor, I'm going to define it. So this default. Whenever an object is created, defaultly they're going to get an empty value, name, and age is equal to what? 18. This is the default which will be assigned for the object without parameter is created. This constructor will be what? Invoke. Now another class which is called as what? Age error. There is no definition inside that. It is an exception class. So under this, we are going to, this class is an exception class that is user defined only. And next we define the methods, change age, and what to change age receives an argument A of type int. So what we are checking inside this, if age less than 18 or age greater than 60, throw age error as an exception here. Okay. So it throws an exception. What is the exception which we are defined? Otherwise, whatever the value we are passed as an argument to the method change age, that will be assigned to the age member of the class what? Employee. So this is called as what? A constraints based implementation in a class. State charts, which is enumerations. We know about what is an enumeration, which is similar to structure something union, but only thing is what? The element which is similar collection, they are called as using indexes. As an example, flower is an enumeration I'm going to create. Under that, I'm going to say jasmine, rose, something like that. I'm assigning the index based information. If I declared a rose as first, that's going to index as 0. Jasmine is next to me, that's going to index as 1. Based on the definition, the index is assigned automatically. I can call only the members through index, and no need to call directly. This is called as what? A group of collections under a index based. So they are called as enumeration here. Now see what is stated here. The states are represented by different values of a data member, set of data members. Okay. The values are 18 to 60. explicitly defined by an enumeration within the class. The transitions are represented by member function that change the value of the concerned data member. The arrangement of classes in a generalization hierarchy. This is an hierarchy which is given. That they can be referred by a common point variable. The following figure shows what? Transformation from a state chart to a generalization hierarchy. What is the generalization hierarchy given here? See the diagram. The hierarchy diagram here is so what is given? ST, ST1, ST3, ST2, then sub 1, sub 2. So now this is a tree formation which is given the hierarchy base. There are three levels is there. Root is called as ST. The middle level is called as ST1, ST2, ST3. At the bottom level they are called as terminators, sub 1 and sub 2. How that will be created in a class hierarchy manner. ST1, ST2. It will be linked. There's a transition diagram. Start with the pointer 0. This solid circle denoting is a transition starting state. This will be shows an ending state. So we'll have the ending state is here is what? Sub 1 and sub 2. So that is given here. ST3 only we are extended with the sub 1 and sub 2. Therefore, under this sub 1 and sub 2 may be a end pointer or both are as an end pointer. That's going to denote a double circle. This is called as what? Class hierarchy and state class generalization hierarchy and state chart. State chart will be transferred as a generalization hierarchy of the class diagram. Next is called as object mapping to database system. How the object is mapped to your database system. So persistence of objects. An important aspect of developing object-oriented system is persistence of data. Through persistency, objects have longer lifespan than the program that created it. The persistent data is saved on a secondary storage medium. Somewhere it can be reloaded when required. So overview of RDBMS, we know relational database management system. The database is an ordered collection of related data. The database management system is a collection of software that facilitates the process of defining, creating, storing, manipulating, retrieving, sharing, and removing data in a database. So in the relational database system, a data is stored as relations or tables where each column or field represents an attribute and each row or tuple represents a record of an instance. So each row is uniquely identified by a chosen set of minimal attributes called a primary key. So what is a foreign key here? Is an attribute that is a primary key of a related tables actually. So we know about the primary key. So once an attribute is made as a primary, that should not be empty as well as the value is what? Unique. Not null is one constraint and unique is another constraint. We'll have two different property for the attributes. Not null means what? You should enter something. Unique means what? The field information should not be repeated. So these two things together will be assigned a property which is called here as what? Primary key. So primary, once an attribute comes under primary, that should not be empty as well as what data should be what? Unique. We cannot allow the redundant content in the databases. The foreign key which is going to have the property like primary as well as that make the link between the two tables. If there is a common field will be used for what? Making the map between the two databases. So representing class as tables in RDBMS. See now, this is an example is given. Circle class can be converted in table as shown as. So circle class, I'm creating different objects. The ID, circle ID, X coordinate, Y coordinate, radius, color. So what are the attributes is there in the circle class that will be taken as a field over here in the table. So I will have a unique field which is called a primary key here. CID, C1, C2, C3. The function for this one is only one what? What are the functions we are going to define over there? Finding area, finding circumference, and finding water scaling part. Now only the attribute is taken to the database and object is created for this. So the object here is called as what? C1, C2, C3. The values which are assigned for this water 557 red, minus 573 no color, and 8 minus 10 yellow. So what is schema for this table? Schema for circle table. Circle, the class name, CID, X coordinate, Y coordinate, radius, color. They are attributes of the table circle. So creating a table circle using SQL command, we know how to create table name, then we are going to specify all the parameters. So this is called as what? Our data definition language. So create table name. What is our table name here? Circle. So parameters are CID. So we know the data type in SQL part, varchar, number, boolean, something like that. So here is for varchar 2 of 4. We'll have the data types called for the character oriented char, varchar, varchar 2. If it is a char 256 only, taken as a character maximum length. If it is a varchar, whatever size we are going to define it. If it is a varchar, it is similar to varchar, but only the differences we have. We know the difference between the varchar and the varchar 2. Is an example. If you are creating a varchar of 10 means the entire field holded the size of capacity of the field is what? All 10 together will be taken assigned for this particular field. When I'm going to say varchar 2 of 10, what will happen? What is the data the end user enter? Based on the data only, the number of character will be assigned to whatever specified attribute. So rest of the memory space will be what truncated by the system. So that is a main advantage while using varchar and varchar 2. So varchar and char and all holding entire values. If I am going to define size of the variable as 20 means 20 bytes will be occupied by the particular field. If I am going to say varchar 2, I am defined under 20 size, but I given only 5 means what will happen? That going to only 5 characters to the particular attribute. Rest of the 15 will be what is shared by other attributes. So that is the main advantage while creating a variable under the character type as what varchar. It is a more best way to what comparing with char and varchar. So here is CID. I already told you it's in a unique field and not null. So assign number of characters what? 4. Capacity is 4 character will be assigned. If you are giving only 2 characters means only 2 character will taken for the CID. Rest of the 2 will be shared by other fields. So it's a primary key. Primary key means what? Is containing 2 constraints. One is not null, another one is what? Unique. So these 2 constraints are followed for our circle ID. Next coordinator, integer, not null. What do you mean by this? Not null means we should enter something. Y coordinate is also integer, not null. Radius, that is Z coordinate is also given here. But we can say here as radius actually. Radius as an integer, not null. Color, they are not saying anything about that. So this is the creation of your table. Okay, color we are not assigning anything. They're going to take, I think, the method value. So now the table circle contains these 4 plus 1, 5 parameters. Next, mapping association to database tables. So now so far we discussed about the relation between the 2 classes. Now we are going to discuss about the relations between what? Tables. So 1-to-1 association. So implements 1-to-1 association. The primary key of any one table is assigned as the foreign key of the another table. So this is called as what? The 1-to-1 association. So consider the association between a department and manager. So department contain one manager. Okay. So department have department ID, department name, location. Manager will have the employee ID, employee name and address. So the table will be created for this department. Create table, department. Under that department ID is integer primary key. Department name is varchar2 of 30, not null. Location varchar2 of 20. Now that going to refer to our what? Table manager. So employee ID is called as a integer, which is the references to the manager. So department have these things followed by the employee also. The employee ID will be integer, which is reference to what our manager, because this employee ID going to act as the role between the department as well as what a manager part. So under the manager table is we are going to create a employee ID is the primary key and employee name is varchar2 of 50 not null. Address is varchar2 of 70. It may be null or not. So we are not given any constraint for this manager table. Similarly, one to many. A department have many employee. A single department have many employee. So one to many associations. This is the class diagram which is given how the association will be defined under a SQL command. To create table department ID as integer primary key. Department name is varchar2 of 30 not null. Location varchar2 of 20. This is the table creation of your department. Now the table creation of your what? Employee. Employee ID as an integer primary key. Employee name on the varchar2 of 50 not null. Address varchar2 of 70. And the department ID integer reference to what? Department under the employee. Because every employee have employee ID as well as under working the department also. So that ID reference to the water department. Now this field is act as a foreign key to both the departments. And many to many employee works and many works on many employee. So here is what? M to N. A new relation is created that represent the association. Consider the following association between employee and the project. So again, it is given simply wrong. Actually, many employee works for many projects. The second rectangle region which contains the project only, not employee. So many employee works on a many project, many hours as well as starting date. The schema for works on table is what? Works on employee ID, project ID, hours, start date. And the SQL command we are going to use create a works on table. Okay, create table works on employee ID as integer, project ID as integer, hours as integer, start date on the date field. So primary keys here as what? Two things, employee ID and project. Both are is unique. So one employee uniquely work for one project and one employee will uniquely work for many projects. Many employee works for many projects. Anyway, these two are primary only. So different to more than one employee having the same employee ID or same project ID. So this comes under primary. So primary means what? Not null and unique. So foreign keys are the employee ID references the employee. And the foreign key for PID references a project. So this is called as what? Many to many association. The second rectangle region is project, not the employee. I cannot make correction within it because it's in a mode of only visibility. Okay. Mapping inheritance tables. We know the inheritance. Reusability. Table reusability here. Mapping inheritance to tables. So primary key of the base table or tables is assigned as the primary key as well as the foreign key in the derived tables. So now see the base class, that is base table here is employee, which will have the field as employee ID, employee name. Under the two tables which are derived, one is called as manager, another one is called as scientist. Under this manager, we'll have the title as well as the department. Under the scientist, we'll have our publications under specializations. So the employee which are used for both tables, manager as well as scientist. How the schema will be created here? Employee, employee ID, employee name. Manager, employee ID, title, department. And employee ID references the employee. Scientists again employee ID and what? Publications specialization again employee ID is reference to the employee. So this is the unique ID. That's the primary key which will be referred for the both tables, manager and the scientist. So can I stop up to this? Tomorrow we'll discuss about the testing part with the added information. So, okay, the content is very less one here. So I'm going to share more content about the what? OAD is testing and quality assurance. Have you all filled the attendance part?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a doubt. Who is created the YouTube content? Initially, a SR is speaking, interacting with you. Who is he? Which subject is going to handle? Your batch. I saw the class one YouTube content. Initially, a SR will interact with you. That is accepting the guest, the accepting the student, something like that. Who is he? Type the content in chat because you cannot able to what speak directly. In the first class YouTube class video, there is an interaction between a sir with the students. Is really a faculty of your class or someone is superior than you in the class? He's a normal student but will have more knowledge than you people. But voice is very matured. He's like a professor only speaking with you. He is interacting with you. But I don't know who is he while I'm going to see this YouTube. Initially, you only interacting with you. After that, my voice is comes to the rule of your class. Do you have any idea about the person who is interacting initially with the first class? I think so.
We don't know, ma'am. Actually, he said that
What?
he will take
Don't
class.
talk because you chat with me. I cannot receive your voice because you are muted by the Microsoft team, which is created by the admin of the university. We see actually is your classmate or some other staff. Hey, go and see in the WhatsApp. One is place the YouTube content about my class. Class one, object oriented analysis and design. Class to something that okay. Internet security. But in my hour he came and interact with you. The voice is matured. You are also you people are interact with him, sir only. That's why I've got it. He is a faculty of some other subject. But he is initially interacting and telling about the what accepting the people which those waiting in the lobby. Is a faculty. Is a faculty which handles some other paper. Anyone have his name? Know his name? Anyone know his name? What is my name actually? You don't know about the faculty or my name? I'm in your what WhatsApp group that tells about my name. See in the WhatsApp group what is the name is displayed. See in your WhatsApp. I joined your WhatsApp group that going to say my default things. One statement which will be written in the what the status section something. What is the name written there? Actually, what is the oldest strength of your class? That's A22 batch. Any idea? Overall strength about that, because yesterday I got 500 something as the attendance, but 500 something as an attendance. 500 and more people is there in the group. They are our group, because I'm going to check only the A22 MCA A. Then the MCA will have 500 plus strength. You got what is my name is status means what, profile followed by what is that? Picture and content. My name is Professor A. Stenmudi. That is also given as a default, because if you are not stored my number, that's going to show my name, Professor A. Stenmudi. So you don't know about the internet staff name. Have you all filled the attendance? Those those who came late filled the attendance. Tomorrow I will post the content of this class. Okay, OAD subject. It's in a Word document only. I will send you to WhatsApp with add-on contents. So who created the YouTube content? So convey my thanks to him, because I'm not aware of that the YouTube creation part through the Microsoft. Say my thanks to him.